Uh, Let me introduce the speakers. Sorry. The speakers, I would like to introduce the first speakers for us. He is, so here, most venerable Pa Anil Sakya. So his the name, the Sangha name, the Pratama Sakya Vangsa Visuddhi. So, let's see. Let me conclude his background very long. He graduated with MPhil from Cambridge University and later with a PhD in social anthropology at the Brunel University in UK, with the Royal Scholarship from the late King Bhumibol Adulyadej of Thailand. So he has attended at several different organizations conference. For example, he represented the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Thailand as ministerial panelist at the second of ASEM Interfaith Dialogue in Cyprus. And also he was invited as the panelist at the highest level meeting on the happiness and well-being, defining a new economy paradigms at the United Nations headquarters in New York, etc. And also he has been often invited as the global speakers of CEO of the business firms under sustainable plans in different countries, including USA, Spain, Australia. He also sometimes lectures at the Capital Markets Academy of Thailand. And recently, he was speakers at different global issues to the name new, for example, at the 8th UNESCO workshops on bioethics in Bangkok, SIGA conference on the cultural wisdom from the climate action in Bangkok, and Gandhara's symposium on the cultural diplomacy, dividing Gandhara civilizations and Buddhist heritage in Pakistan, etc. So many conferences he attended. And in the media, he has appeared at many interviews on the different documentaries and also the team on CNN, BBC, New York Times, Financial Times, Bangkok Post, etc. Currently, he is residing at Royal Monastery of Wat Bawang Divet in Bangkok, Thailand, where he holds the positions and assistant abroad. And in the fields of the Sangha administration, he is a regional Sangha governor for the regionals 6 to 7, Dhammayutta governing the 8th northern province of Thailand under Supreme Sangha Council of Thailand. And he is a member of the subcommittees of the religious first executions of Thailand under the Ministry of the Cultures of the Kingdom of Thailand. In academic field, he is an advisor of the World Buddhist University under the World Fellowships of the Buddhist and advisors of the Mahamangkus Buddhist University, Thailand. So, most venerable, we would like to invite you on the stage. Please welcome most venerable. So, I think you also don't want to delay the time to hear from the speakers about the topic relevance of Buddhist education for the Harmonious Societies. So, but before the speaking, we have an agreement each other. So we have to round to discussion. First round, I will give you 20 minutes for speakers, and the second round, 10 minutes. After that, we open the floor to the audience to ask the question. So now it's time. I would like to invite the first speaker to talk about the relevance Buddhist education for Harmonious Society. I would like to invite the most venerable Patham Sakya Vong Visuddhi. Please, venerable.
Venerable Vice Rector of the Academic Affairs of MCU, Roma Sombun, and the moderator, the colleagues, scholars, as well as all MC students. at the same time, all the people who join here in this session. Of course, every year, Visakha Puja, or the Vesak Day, has been one of the very important days for us. To be honest, it is not only for the Buddhists these days. Vesak has been celebrated all around the world, not only among Buddhists, even non-Buddhist countries, they do celebrate Vesak Day. So this is one of the unique days of Buddhism in modern age. As a part of a Vesak celebration in Thailand, which has been hosting as a UN Vesak Day, so this year is the 19th, of course, we have been just working for this important day for 19 consecutive years. So this is one of the pride we can really feel proud of what we have been doing here. In today's topics, as the UNDV has been decided that the topic should be something is more universal, it's a more kind of relating direct to our daily lives. And as the presiding over today's by the Deputy Director has been mentioned that it has been 3 topics, and one of the topics is today's, or this, at the moment we are dealing with about the Buddhist educations for the Harmonious Society. So as a first speaker, so I will just break down to add a kind of in a way that we can have a more active and more interesting discussions instead of giving a very heavy lectures, I said. Because as the moderator has been given that we got only 20 minutes for each in the first round. So in this first 20 minutes, I will just break down that what it should be by the whole idea, the whole topic of relevance of the Buddhist education for Harmonious Society. So when you look at the topics, okay, when you look at the topics, there are a few things immediately come to our mind. The thing is that the Buddhist education. And now when we talk about the Buddhist education, there is a big sort of a controversy in a way that, is that some kind of a special particular discipline which we can proud to say that this is a Buddhist education? Or Buddhist education, we are kind of hiding something as a Buddhism as per se. So we can see as a Buddhism, which is the whole religion, or we are just a kind of siphon out in a small, making kind of small special discipline, which is called Buddhist education. So if we are going to siphon out a special Buddhist education, I guess that it is only confine ourselves within the academic area. Okay? And this is, of course, relevant to us. We are doing the all academic exercise here in that sense. But what I myself understand that this is not only defining, not only confining among ourselves to the academic area, but we want to show that in this conflicting world, in this world of very destructive world at the moment, whenever we see the news, we are seeing that the war is, domestic war, international war is taking place here and there. So it is all about how do we solve that conflict? How do we make this society a harmonious society? As a human, we have to be always remind ourselves that what do we mean by human actually? Human is a kind of a conglomerate, sort of a one confined word itself, is that in Pali we all know it's a manushya or manusa, which just means that one who have a very creative mind. Ussa or ucca means that actually higher mind. It's a higher in some sense that what kind of high. I don't want to make it kind of measurable things. But whole idea in a sense, how do we differentiate our species from other species is all about what we do, we concern about our surroundings. What we do, we concern about how we live together as a human. We are what we call a social being. At the same time, some of the economists say that we are the economic being. But it's not only economic, but the most important foundation of who we are is actually we are the social being. So when we think of the social being, we are just only component. We are just a part and parcel of this whole society. So how do we carry on this society? We are very good at it, kind of pointing out this and that. You see the war going on in the Palestine, in the Jerusalem, in the Ukraine, in the Russia. We are very good at pointing out, even in the Burma these days, in the domestic violence. But how we are going to deal with this as a world religion? How we are going to address all those kind of problem with sometimes very difficult to even conceive the ideas. So this is a big challenge for us. So I guess that as a United Nations Day of Vesak, which we are doing, not only the part of being a Thailand, but we are trying to challenge the whole, the global, some sort of a problem or global kind of big issues. So that's why this topic is very relevant indeed, but I see that. So now when we think about the Buddhist education, how do we look at it, the first thing? I guess that I want to just cross over the idea as a discipline. Because if you go to the universities, you might have under the, Department of Faculty of Educations, you might have a Buddhist educations, okay, as a part of a curriculum, a part of a discipline. You might have, even the Department of Buddhist Education if you are big enough. But again, you are looking only from the disciplinary side. You are only looking from the academic side. But if you are changing that Buddhist education, what do we study then? Then that's a big problem. Because when we think about the Buddhist education, when we think about the Buddhism as per se, we always say kind of a phrase that there are altogether 84,000 teachings. And that is what called Buddhism. So in a Buddhist education, do we mean by we are going to study that 84,000 teachings? Or we have to go beyond that? That is a very important thing to think. So I would like to say that Buddhist education itself is actually very, very synonyms, a very, very good word to use to substitute for the word Buddhism, in fact. Because when we refer to Buddhism in a global perspective, Buddhism is always in a negative side. Because Buddhism as a religion, what happened? It's confined within the word religion. Okay? For example, in Thai language, it's quite kind of very, very, I would like to say it's a very, very feeling very sad when you look at the definition of the word religion in Thai language, which is given in the, Royal Dictionary of Thai, of the whole idea of the classical dictionary of Thai language. In that Thai language, what they said, do you know that? Religion, or the word sasana, they use the word sasana, of course, in Thai language. But when they explain the word sasana, it says that ลัทธิความเชื่อว่าด้วยเรื่องการกำเนิดและสิ้นสุดโลกลัทธิความเชื่อว่าด้วยเรื่องบุญและบาปและพิธีกรรมที่เนื่องด้วยสองอันนี้ What does it mean? The word religion or sasana, be careful, religion and sasana is the same word, but in Thai language we use the word sasana as a means of religion, but the definition of that very word was given in the Thai Royal Dictionary, says that ลัทธิความเชื่อ the belief system. Okay? Something about belief system. Believing what? Believing the origin and the doomsday, the end of the world. Are we concerned about when the world was created? Are we concerned about when it is a justification day, a judgment day, a doomsday? No. But that is a part of the whole idea of a religion in the world religion sense. The whole idea of the faith system, the belief system in punya and papa, merit and dismerit. But again, punya and papa in that very dictionary, it doesn't mean as a Buddhist sense at all. It is a kind of a Western idea of sensing that it is a sin and reward given by the God. When you are end of the world, everyone is judged by the God. And if you did good, so you will be sent to the heaven where you stay with the God. If you did bad, the papa, so you will be sent to the hell. That is the very idea of a religion. Again, the third one is that kind of an idea that any ritual, any activities which is related to the two things, conforming the whole idea of the origin and the end of the world, the idea of the sin and reward by the God. So this is an exact definition you get in the Thai Royal Dictionary about the word sasana. You see? Big problem. So where is sasana? So Buddhism is a sasana or not? Buddhism is a religion or not in that sense? They use the word Pali or Sanskrit word, of course, but the explanation of that word is taken from the Western ideas of the word religion, religare, about belief system, belief in I don't know, belief in a God, belief in the origin and the doomsdays, which is nothing to do with Buddhism at all. So that's why it is very, very important to say, or when we are talking about what is Buddhism all about then. If you fit under the word religion, under the whole idea of religion in English word, it doesn't fit at all. But if we take that sasana, the word sasana, into the real kind of a Pali sense or the original sense, then you will see that what we are talking is about Buddhist education after all. Because sasana, sasanang kileseti sasana. That is the origin of the word, isn't it? It means that anything, any instructions, any educations which can eliminate your mental defilements. It will be a Buddha, it will be a Jesus Christ, it will be the Muhammad, whoever, doesn't matter. But if they teach some kind of idea, if we train all the human beings to able to come over all the mental desire, all the mental defilements, that is greed, hatred, and the ignorance, and that is simply called Buddhism. So therefore, when we say that Buddhism, in fact, in other words, people are trying to say that it's a philosophy. I'm in front of the professor of philosophy here, but I disagree totally that Buddhism is not a philosophy. You can take it just as a part of it, just like we are dealing Buddhism as a part of discipline, Buddhist education, fine. And as a philosopher, you can take it as a philosophical part of Buddhism, fine. But if you really want to define Buddhism as a philosophy, that is again wrong. Because if you remember, we chant every day, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehi Passiko Opanayiko. There is a two word. Ehi Passiko means that come, see. And you can debate about it all the time. That is a philosophical part. We might have a lot of fun and the logic and then all these things. That is a philosophical part. And we feel good. Wow, that's good. I feel very good, like they're debating on those that. But Buddha says that Buddhism not end there. Buddhism has to be opanayiko. It's an opanayika sasana. Means that whatever we are talking, whatever we are saying, we have to able to put it in a practice. It's become a pragmatic. And how do you do that? Through education. So that's why if we define the word, whole idea on Buddhism become, just to make it very short, Sikha. Sikha means that teaching, isn't it? In education. So all Buddha's teaching, Eightfold Noble Path, be a Four Noble Truths, which go down to, in a pragmatic sense, is Eightfold Noble Path. Eightfold Noble Path we define in terms of a Ti-Sikha or Tri-Sikha. And that is the whole idea of Buddhism as a Buddhist education. So that's why I would say that Buddhism is equal to Buddhist education, because that is how we study Buddhism. We are not taught to believe in Buddhism. Okay? We are not taught to believe in Buddhism. If you believe in Buddhism, it means that you are closing all your other options. And you are blind faith in Buddhism. That is another Buddhist way of study. Okay? But Buddhist way of studying is that the Buddha, Buddhi. What is Buddha? Buddhi means? Buddha means that the way of thinking, the way of knowing, way of able to intellectually kind of understand the things what we are seeing in front of us, not seeing as it is, but seeing even deeper that as they are. As not based on our way of seeing what I would like to see. So, Sikha, if we understand the word Sikha in Pali, then you will see a lot of good example of Sikha. I think I started at what? What time? 10 minutes, okay. Sikha, okay. Sikha means that what? Sayang Ikha, isn't it? The word Pali. Sayang Ikha, which means that Ikha is a seeing, understanding. So, whole idea of education means that sayang is yourself, kind of a self-seeing. It's kind of able to see the reality from your understanding, you see. So education is not only putting in, at the moment education, you stuff in, put all the memorized things, this and that. But in fact, that is only the process part of it. The exact part of the being educating is that you are able to see things kind of a more filter eye, more kind of a clean eyes, more kind of a understanding eyes by yourself. It's a cognitivity idea. That is education in Sayang Ikha. Another one is, we can also say that the word Sikha, which comes from the other word, is a Saha Ikha, isn't it? Saha Ikha. Saha means what? Saha means that together. Saha means that common. Saha means that harmony. You see? So we can see things, we can understand things in harmoniously. Okay? You see, the whole idea of a Buddhist education is that able to see things as an overall perspective, not individually. People love to teach in individual sense. So that's why what we say that the human is a nama and a rupa. Human is a what? Human is that all the eyes, nose, all these bunch of skandhas, kind of gagrin, khanda, aggregates. When all the khanda aggregates work together in harmoniously, that's become a human. So Saha Ikha means that a kind of education, kind of understanding, which can let us see, let us understand in a more harmonious way or in a more kind of holistic way. So that is another idea of the word Sikha or education in Buddhism fully means. The third idea of the being Sikha is that another one is that Sayam or Samma Ikha. That's interesting now. Samma, we are very familiar. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma, one after more. Everything we call this Samma. And then we end up translating all those Samma as a right view, right thought, right soul, right. All become a right. So it means that all other idea is wrong. What do we mean by right? All our idea is on the left and we are on the right side. What do we mean by right? You see? We are stuck with this jargon. But if we know the Pali, exact Pali, what is the word Samma from? The word Samma, the root of the Samma itself is the word Sama, which means that calming, liberating. It's a kind of a extinguishing. So whole idea of Sama become the Samadhi, become the Samma, become the Samatha, It's all about the kind of understanding which can solve the problem, which can calm all the problems. It's kind of education, we can use it to solve whatever the problem we are facing in, be it individual, be it social, even to the global problem. So that is a very word, you see, the essence of Buddhism there. We summarize Buddhism as a kind of a tisika, but in tisika itself, everything, 84,000 teaching is there, embedded there. So that is the word sikha, or Buddhist education, which I like to give, just break down so we can talk more about that. So whatever you want to talk that, paticca samuppada, or the loving kindness, all this, all those, whatever the teaching, all the headings will be there, that it is not for the study, but it is a way that how we can apply those Dhamma, so in a way that we can be a part and parcel of this harmonious society. So that is a whole idea of Buddhist education for me. I would like to kind of give a new definition here. The second word, I would say that there's a big problem in this topic, is a harmony or harmonious. When we talk about harmony or harmonious, I think we are talking about kind of a samakhi, samagga in Pali, and then in samakhi in Thai. Finally, I don't know, it's went to the kind of idea of what does it really means. But again, the word harmony, if we look from even from the English, actually, in English, the harmony, I think it come to exist this word around late 14th century, is about 15 something. And then where that word, the very word come from, you might be surprised. But at the moment, the harmony has become, living together without a quarrel, without a problem, kind of those things. Actually not. The harmony is from if you know the musical instrument, harmony, what do you call this? There's some kind of notes, the playing. I don't know exactly the word for this musical instrument. That basically the word harmony is from the musical instrument. So how you play the tune, you see? So if you have one kind of a tune, ding, so it is very, very annoying. But if you play in a very melodious ding, 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 dong, dong, whatever it is, then it will suddenly, it's create the whole atmosphere. So calming, so soothing, so beautiful sounds it came out. So basically, the harmony is the same thing. You see? So when you apply that in a musical instrument, you see, as you know that, you play with the, what do you call this? Piano. Is that not piano? What do you call it? Violin. Okay, if you play the violin. So, but if you have become a maestro, if you become an expert, so it's become very melodious. But that doesn't mean. But when we live together, we are not living alone. We are not living as a Thai people only. We are not living as a Western only. We are not living as a monk only, the lay only. We have to live together. In one together, it means that all the different kind of musical instrument we have to play together, just like in an orchestra. So imagine.
3 minutes.
Okay. So imagine, in orchestra, what happened? You have a violin, you have a piano, we have a drum, you have all different kind of different individual. But when they are play together the same song, dun-dun-dun, so become a very grand and then make our goosebump. You see? So that is a whole idea of a harmony. That is a whole idea of how we live together. So the whole idea of a Buddhist education of Buddhism is that how do we live together and play the same song? So in a way that all the conflict, all the problem we are always creating because of this and that, because of our need, because of our wanting, because of our not understanding, all those will be put aside. At the moment, we have to play the same song. At the moment, even the old religion have to play the same song. Might be a Christian, Buddhist, Sikh, Brahmin, Muslim, but once we are in the stage, not we are fighting as a boxing, but our job to make this world as a human world, to make this world as a society, what we do is that we have to play the same song as it is harmonious. Same as the word samagi. What does samagi means? Sang, agga, one of the word. Sang means that the together, agga means that the supreme, the best. So how do we work together for the best outcome? Or sam magga, sang magga. So how do we work together in a way that we don't fight each other? So we can walk together to a common goal of peace and harmony, of peace and happiness. So that is, we can only get through our idea of education. So that's why then we can create that harmonious society. I think I will end this first round. Thank you.
Thank you, most venerables. To start with the term. So I can say that if we don't understand, how can we teach the other, especially education? So that most venerable, he start with, we have to understand the term, especially in the term of religions or sasana. So in the fields of Asia is my different from Western field. And Thai term and English term, Sanskrit and etc. So if we don't understand about this, so we might not able to understand about the teaching clearly. Then how can we teach the other people? So we are Buddhists. The people who belong to the other religions, it doesn't matter, but we are Buddhists. When we are Buddhists, we don't understand exactly about this, so that's very dangerous. So another term that I only asking by the others faith about the God. So once I participate the conference in other countries, some scholar complained to me. He asked, Buddhism never believe in the God. Am I right? He said, yeah, I just said yes, different characters. So why don't you believe in God? Even God created you. So there's different belief, different idea. That's why I can say that in Buddhist we believe in the others, that we have to study carefully.
No,
Even
you have to say that I don't believe in believing.
So that's why I can say that harmony. If we don't understand exactly that, how can we teach the other people to have the harmonies in societies? So even the Traisika also. So there's so many terms in Buddhist terms that we have to understand clearly before to teach the other people and create harmony in societies. Especially presently, society is not only Buddhist, but the other religions also. How can we study each other, share the true knowledge to the others? So this is from the most venerable the speakers. Okay, we have the authors. We have the second round for that. I would like to invite each speaker to conclude each 3 minutes, Professor, most venerable. So we start with most venerable. Patam the Sakya bang
3 minutes.
3 minutes, yes. Please, venerable.
Okay, so first I understand that it has 10 minutes as he announced earlier. So time is flying fast. So 10 minutes become 3 minutes. Okay, what can I say in the 3 minutes? Basically, based on the topics we were given here, we are trying to explore as Buddhist education being or leading to the harmonious society. So just summarize it very quickly here. Once we understand that what is education, what is Buddhism, and as well as our harmonious society, basically we can relate these 2-3 things within the Vesak, as we are doing the Vesak celebrations, and as well as we have to remember that in terms of Buddhist education, in terms of our understanding Buddhism, when we're trying to define within the discipline of educations, there are a few things which Ajahn Sorat has already mentioned, that the Pariyat, Patibat, Patived, and Tisika, Sila Samadhi, Prajna, whatever it is. But one of the very thing I think that we always forget about the different level of understanding in Buddhism, which we always refer, but unfortunately we have been very good at chanting it, not understanding it. That is in the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, when Buddha taught to these 5 ascetics, then what happened? Chakkung Udapadi, Jnanang Udapadi, Panya Udapadi, Vijja Udapadi, Aloko Udapadi. Actually, these are the true education in Buddhism. How do you see that? When you learn things, first kind of a knowledge we get through the Chakkung Udapadi, through our senses. It's kind of a sensual knowledge. Through the eyes, through the nose, through the ears, whatever it is. It's kind of experience through all the sensual knowledge. That is the first kind of education we need. But the deeper sense, Jnanang Udapadi. What is Jnanang? Jnana means that once you get all the gather of the data, gut inside, go into the sanya, your database, and then trying to make sense what that really meant. Then you, this is a sound. This is this color. And that is a second level of education's understanding. So far, what Ajahn says, modern education, that far we have gone through. But in Buddhism, the Buddhist education, there's another 3 levels, which I don't know when we are going to reach that level. The third one is Panya Udapadi. Panya, pa means that is a prefix, means that overall. Jnana means that knowledge. So it is a kind of not mono-dimensional knowledge as we first time, but it is a multi-dimensional knowledge. You have to be able to see through the different perspective, different point of view, so you can see through, cut through. That is a Panya education. Do we have that now? No. So it is a part of our university as we are proposing. We are going through the Buddhist education. How do we reach even to the 3rd level of education? We are very satisfied with only 2nd level of education so far, the whole world. But Buddhism is not end there. Buddhism says that Vijja Udapadi. So once you are able to panya, the multi-dimensional knowledge, you can be able to see things as they really are. Then what happens? Your avijja is destroyed. Your ignorance is destroyed. It's become a vijja, kind of knowledge, kind of which overall able to see things happen. Then what is the result of that? The 5th level of knowledge happen. Aloko Udapadi. Then you are brightened. Then you have become a Buddha. Then you have become able to see through. And that is the whole idea of becoming a harmonious society. So as Ajahn Surat said it that Pariyat, Patibat, Patived. I just want to give a little footnote there. I have a very different idea of these 3 things. Generally, we are given that, just Ajahn Surat said, is that it's become a theory study, it's a practical study, and the result of the study. But I see differently on that. Because if it is a result, it shouldn't be the process of education. It should be the different thing. But 3 Sikha, the Pariyati, Patipati, Pativeda is still under the whole category, under the heading of Buddhist education. It is a process of education, not the result yet. But what happens is that Pariyati, you study through the theory. Patipati, you put into practice. Then, after the practice, what is the result come up? That result is a right or wrong. We don't know yet. So we have to even to study the result, whether it is leading to the Nibbana or not. You see? So these are the Pariyati, Patipati, Pativeda is still the Buddhist education, not the result yet. Pativeda is not the result yet. Pativeda is still under the theory of studying. So therefore, just to summarize in a very few words, which is relevant, because I can go through a lot of things, because I have 3 minutes, I think I already taken the time. But just to summarize it, we are celebrating Vesak. What is all Vesak and what is related with this topic? I see Vesak is a very different way. Vesak is actually nothing to do with Buddhism, because Vesak is the name of the month. And what happened on that month? What happened on that full moon day? The full moon day happened is that the introduction of Buddhism as ABC Buddhism. What is ABC? The first incident is awakening. The Buddha appeared. And which means that everyone can be appeared at awakening. And what awakened him? The B, balance. The principle of balancing things. Able to make the society more harmonious. The balance is another word for harmony. And then harmony what? C is a community. So we have to live together in a society. So the Vesak itself is a ABC of Buddhism, which is a education. Educating what? The Dharma, the principle. Educating for what? The Sangha. Another English is a Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, another word. So therefore, as a part of being the topic here, how can we create that harmonious society? Of course, through the Buddha, through that kind of understanding, through the education. Educating what? The principle which can make us able to live in harmony, just like a musical instrument. Different instruments can come together, so it will call the society. So what I see, the topic here, Buddhist education is a Buddha, the Dharma is a harmony, and the Sangha is a society. So let us just memorize, let us just see that either be a ABC of Buddhism, either be a Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and that is what ultimate idea of a celebration of a Vesak Day, and this is what we are doing under this topic. Thank you. There are a few questioners, so may I just add on these important comments here. Actually, the word mindfulness, with John Kabat-Zinn or all these Western definitions, there is something very worthwhile to think about among Buddhists, actually. The word mindfulness is not from the word sati. Because as Professor Hoffman has said, that they have been given certain kind of definitions. There is an attention, there is an intention, and there is a no attitude. That is called, in a short, attention, what do you call this? Attention, intention, and attitude. So AAI, that is a simple word. What means that? Attention means that it is about sila. How do you restrain all the senses, you see? How do you attentively stop all the way of coming to things, all the different things, and then very attentive to it, one component. Then you have intention, then you have samadhi onto that. When you have to focus that, then think through that. Samadhi, yeah, very one-pointedness. Then what happened that? When one-pointed, see as it is, no judgment. You see? Attitude. So actually, the mindfulness carry on the whole message of Buddhism. But in the West, you can't use the word Buddhism. It's become a banned word. It's become a taboo. Because once you use the word Buddhism, it's become religion. So they have to come out with some substitute. So, and they found that the substitute is the word mindfulness. But when they define the word mindfulness, within that mindfulness, the 84,000 teaching is there. You see? So that's why, although we have a different understanding, but if you know the intention of what they are saying here, then you will know that it is not a mindfulness as sati, just a kind of memory. Or whatever it is, say it in. Because it doesn't work. If you say only seeing and not acting, what does it mean? You see that someone is coming here, a thief came here, and you see that a thief is coming, and he pick up my phone. I say, he's picking up my phone, he's picking up my phone. And then he walk back to wherever he come from. Oh, he's taking my phone back, he's taking phone to. So I'm very aware of what is going on, mindfulness. So, but I lost my phone. So is that the idea of mindfulness? No, you see. So once you know that a thief is coming, we have to stop that. It's not judgmental in that sense. Able to see and act upon that. So that is the whole idea of mindfulness. That's why a lot of researches from the medical side and the psychological side is working, because it's not only the memory, it is not only the sati, but it has accomplished things, whole idea of an essence of Buddhism into that. So that is we have to think about the word mindfulness in that sense. And that, as a Western, they don't want to put it because they lose the job if they put it in that way. Because then they are favor of the religion, and so once you be a religion, there's a kind of a grouping, there's kind of things, so they want to make it secular, they want to make it kind of acceptable to everyone, and that is a way how they define. But if you know the background of definition, the explanation of definition, it is actually, it's embedded whole teaching of Buddhism within the mindfulness. Thank you. Okay, first of all, to answer your question, I think I have to correct your understanding of my version. Basically, the word idea, I said that the Sikha Ika, the Samma Ika, I didn't translate it as a right. I hate the word right, actually. Even the right view, right, I hate it. Because when you say the right, it is always subjective, right or wrong. So the Buddhism is about objectivity here. So it is a kind of a Samma, means that the Samma is from the calming. So it is that a Samma Ika means that a kind of education which can eliminate the problem. It is a problem-solving education, Samma. So that's why Samma Ditti means that the kind of a vision, kind of understanding, which can put down all the kilesa, the lobha, dvesa, moha, all those things. That is the whole idea of the Samma. It is not a right. We are taken away with kind of very jargon and then make us kind of, lost our track. It's become subjective. That's why we say that all other idea is wrong. And this is a right. So I try to not to go into that because very subjective. And then that make us very, very, for the Buddhist scholar, for the Buddhist, even a student, make it very confusing. And then feel that Buddhism is the best. You can think if you like it, but that is another way that we can live in together. So I hate that word, Samma, as a right, okay? Now, talking about your questions about a different kind of harmony. Of course, there's a lot of harmony, we can say it, but in these 20 minutes presentations, I think it is impossible to go to all the idea of harmony. But don't forget that the word harmony or samaggi in Pali, what they call is agena sikarinang samaggang samaggi, isn't it? Or samabhavo samaganang samaggi. Samagabhavo samaggi. That is a Pali word, isn't it? Basically means that whatever agena sikarinang, what is the aim of living together as our ultimate goal? And then to reach the ultimate goal, samaggang, work together, and whatever the way together, so the practice of dharma, understanding, the communications, whatever it is, let it be. But we are going for the same goal of living together in a more society. That is the very heart of a samaggi or the Harmonious Society. But if your question is that you really want to know how it is, so I will refer to the opening speech of our Deputy Director. He said, he used the word Dhammapada 204 verses, isn't it? Arogaya paramalabha santuthi paramang dhanang visasa paramayati nibbanang paramang sukhang. What does it mean? We are talking about this harmony. We are talking about the well-being, that Arogaya paramalabha. The Buddhist way of well-being is that first you have to be physical well-being you need. Arogaya paramalabha. Then physical harmony you need to have it. Physical sort of things you need to have it. Santuti paramang dhanang. Then you have to have a mental well-being actually. The santuti is a mental well-being or mental harmony. You need to have it. Then Visasa paramayate, then come to Visasa paramayate. Then you have a social well-being, you see. The whole idea is there, how do we live together, a social well-being. And then Nibbanang paramang sukhang. Only then you will have a spiritual well-being, spiritual harmony. So if you want to do it, so start it with your arogya, start it with yourself. How do you make your physical world, physical surrounding to be harmony, living in harmony? And then you have to think of your mental surroundings and whatever your mental situation should be in harmony. And then you have to come into the social, the visasa paramayati. Then only you can have this ultimate goal of harmony, the true harmonious society, true sukha sanghasa samaggi, whatever you want to call it, will be appear. And this is how we can reach the topic here as a harmonious society. Thank you.
So I think the time is up. So we hope that on behalf of three speakers, we hope that you can get the knowledge in the term of the harmony organized for today. So anyway, if still you're confused about this, you can discuss with us after the functions. So this is very necessary the points in the modern society and present society presently. Okay, on behalf of organizers of these functions, We would like to thank the speakers, start with Pathamma Sakaya Vangsa Visuti, Professor Dr. Sola Thongdararom, Professor Feng Hopman to share the knowledge for us today. Thank you so much.